While Scream 6 ended with both Kirby Reed and Gale Weathers surviving, one of the two legacy characters are likely to die in the next Ghostface massacre of Scream 7. The Scream franchise allowed its original main three legacy characters to survive for several films without killing them off, which is part of why Dewey Riley's death in Scream 2022 was so surprising. Neve Campbell's Sidney Prescott didn't return for Scream 6, but the 2023 sequel still kept her alive, while also unexpectedly allowing legacy characters Gale and Kirby to survive another round of near-fatal blows by Ghostface. In this video, I want us to talk about how both Gale and/or Kirby cannot survive in Scream 7, and let's speculate who will die. But before people get their panties in a twist about killing off more legacy characters, I'd like to say hello guys and gals, I'm Nick, and welcome to 30's Feedback. So, as a new twist, no returning franchise characters died in Scream 6, which means the next sequel's kill count will have to include at least one fan favourite. Scream 6 initially suggested that Kirby and Gale would either be Ghostfaces or major deaths, which was enhanced by their humorous rivalry as the five-time Ghostface survivor Gale insulted Scream 4 survivor Kirby's youth. But, in an effort to subvert expectations, neither happened. Kirby survived being stabbed and shot several times by Ghostface, while Gale miraculously survived an extended chase sequence fitting of a character send-off. With both legacy characters expected to return for Scream 7, franchise rules indicate one will finally fall victim to the next Ghostface. Here are the reasons why. Gale and Kirby's similar role means one has to die in Scream 7. Kirby and Gale shared similar proximity to the main characters in their respective original movies, with Kirby being the second female lead after Jill in Scream 4 and Gale being the second female lead after Sidney. Now, upon their reunion in Scream 6, both Gale and Kirby are serving as the side legacy character who aids the new generation of Ghostface targets. Both are also taking on investigative roles in Scream, though Gale's is as a journalist, while Kirby's is as an FBI agent. Still, both continuing to return means they are competing to occupy a similar space in the franchise related to helping the Core 4 investigate Ghostface murders. Gale and Kirby's survivals create a doubled up legacy character role, though this wouldn't be the case if it was Sidney and Gale returning, as they serve very different purposes within the franchise. While Kirby's FBI job establishes her better as Dewey's replacement, her unfamiliarity and rivalry with Gale fails to satisfy the typical older generation journalist cop subplots that Gale and Dewey often shared. As fun as it is to see Gale and Kirby clash in Scream 6, it's a dynamic that cannot sustain their role in the franchise's future. Kirby and Gale's competition, paired with the simple fact that both legacy characters were lucky to survive in Scream 6, points to one meeting a tragic end in the sequel. Kirby has a bigger future than Gale after Scream 6. Gale and Kirby are both legacy character bait for new Ghostfaces, but the odds regarding which one dies in Scream 7 are most logically based on what they can bring to the franchise's future. Gale is now the only character to have appeared in every Scream movie, so her presence extends beyond that of final girl Sidney Prescott. Still, Gale's return in Scream 6 primarily saw her repeat her role from Scream 2 while tying up loose ends with Dewey's death and confirming why Sidney wasn't around. There needed to be an original Scream character around for Ghostface's Scream 6 massacre, so Gale's return made sense. However, There aren't many paths for Gale moving forward given her conclusion with Dewey and replacement in waiting with Kirby, making her a more realistic candidate for dying in Scream 7. After Kirby seemingly died in Scream 4, the fan favourite character returning for Scream 6 offered a promising way to ensure the 2011 Woodsboro killings maintained a legacy within the franchise. Except for Kirby, all of Scream 4's teen generation is dead, so her presence is crucial to cementing this piece of the franchise in the core 4's larger story. This isn't the case for the original trilogy characters, however, as Sidney is still alive and can fill the role that Gale provided in Scream 6. Gale's epic one-on-one Ghostface attack arc with Dewey and insistence that Ghostface would never truly defeat her have already been completed, while Kirby's comeback is just beginning. Scream 6 hardly indicates what happened to Kirby after Scream 4 and doesn't deeply address her reaction to the betrayal of her best friend Jill and friend Charlie lying to her and then attempting to murder her. With the FBI, Kirby also fills a necessary role left open by Dewey through the character's access to police files and confidential materials. Since Kirby has the potential for a larger future in the franchise even beyond the core 4 story, Gale is more likely to die in Scream 7. Gale will likely die, which means Sidney has to return. If Gale does die in Scream 7, then the stakes are truly being raised for the reboot trilogy. It would already make sense for Sidney Prescott to come back for the sequel, but Gale's death would seal the need for her appearance. Scream 6 reiterated how important Sidney is to Gale as someone she considers family, with Gale's potential last words even being, "Tell Sidney he never got me." The end of Gale in Scream means Sidney has to return to give her a send-off, which would make for a massive trilogy-ending event if Sam and the core 4 story concludes with Scream 7. What do you guys think? Who's your money on, Gale or Kirby? And if Gale does die, does Sidney return? Let me know below.